Hey, this is Dizzy Reed from Guns N' Roses, and you're watching GNR Central. Yeah!
Hey everybody, what's going on, and welcome to GNR Central. And today I want to do a true story episode about the history behind Axl Rose and his feud with Spin Magazine. Now, if you guys have listened to Use Your Illusion 2, there's a song called Get in the Ring on that record, which calls out Spin Magazine, Circus Magazine, Hit Parader, and you can tell that, Axl's not very happy with those magazines, but why was he so angry at those magazines? Like, he makes some mention of them spreading lies and not properly quoting what the band members are saying, but it goes a bit deeper than that as well. So Uproxx did a really great article talking about the feud behind Spin Magazine. At that time, its founder, Bob Guccione Jr., was not getting along with Axl Rose, and actually even called him out by name in Get in the Ring. So about 2 years prior to Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 coming out, Spin Magazine hit the stands for the first time. So Bob Guccione Jr., who was its founder, took out a loan from his dad, who at that time was the publisher of Penthouse magazine. So Guccione had started the magazine as a kind of alternative to the leading music magazine at that time, which was Rolling Stone. Now, Spin Magazine's focus was really on a broader variety of music, in particular college indie rock and hip hop, which was still pretty much in its infancy stages at the time. Now, while Rolling Stone published profiles of one of the biggest artists of the day, which was Tina Turner, Spin Magazine took a different approach, tracking down her ex-husband, Ike Turner, who many people thought was dead, including Tina herself. It turned out, though, that Ike Turner was just homeless at the time. So Spin Magazine quickly caught on as a trend-setting publication, so when the magazine declared that relatively little-known artists, including Sinead O'Connor, Public Enemy, and Guns N' Roses were the future of music, the industry ended up taking notice. Now, it's ironic that the magazine that helped launch the stardom of Guns N' Roses would end up becoming one of the band's biggest enemies. So after Appetite for Destruction took off, GNR sort of grew weary of the media. They insisted that before granting interviews that media outlets had to allow the band to edit pieces, write the captions, and maintain copyright ownership of the content. And failure of publications to meet the demands of the contract would result in $100,000 payments for breach of contract. So this was in the 2 years leading up to the release of Use Your Illusion double album, when the band was still largely inaccessible. No self-respecting journalist obviously would sign the contract, but Bob Guccione Jr. did something that was quite interesting. He ended up printing Guns N' Roses' contract in Spin Magazine, inviting its readers to submit it to the band if they wanted to get a contract with Guns N' Roses themselves. So what ended up happening is that 10,000 readers took the contracts, signed them, and mailed them to GNR, much to the displeasure of Axl Rose and company, who were embarrassed by the entire incident. Bob Guccione Jr. went another step further at the time. GNR at the time were basically intent on controlling their image that they fostered over the past 5 years, but Guccione Jr. wanted to find out what was really behind Axl Rose. So he ended up sending a reporter to Indiana to talk to the people who grew up with Axl Rose, then William Bailey, otherwise known as Bill Bailey. Yes, the name of the biggest frontman of hard rock from 1987 to 1993 was Bill. And it's a really fascinating article for anyone who's interested in Axl Rose's background. So the piece also attacked Guns N' Roses for the slurs made against immigrants, faggots, and, as they put it, the N-words in the song One in a Million, which resulted, of course, in a confrontation between the band Living Colour, with whom GNR was touring with as opening acts for the Rolling Stones in LA for 4 dates. So the piece also slammed GNR's presence on stage, saying that the band has sucked shit more often than not in previous years. Spin also called out the band for being drug addicted, paranoid, homophobic, racist, xenophobic, ruthless, violent, and a threat to the liberty of the press, and a pain in the ass to almost everyone. But back to the Axl Rose background piece that they did in Indiana. So Spin used interviews with hometown friends, including a woman who had dated Axl throughout the years preceding to his stardom. She expounded on Rose's drug use, his temper, and she even made some suggestions that he was violent with her. She also partially dispelled the myth that Axl Rose had been living on the streets before the band took off. She said, no, he didn't live on the streets entirely. Axl's ex-girlfriend told Spin. I helped him out quite a bit. I don't think he likes to think about that, though. There were times, granted, when he lived on the streets after I'd kick him out because I got tired of supporting the both of us, and I got tired of the fighting. The gist of the piece, noted Guccione, was that Axl Rose was a bit of a dick. And of course, all of this infuriated Axl Rose, who took his anger out on the media and Guccione in the song Get in the Ring, and Axl challenged Guccione to a fight. So what did Guccione end up doing after he heard the lyrics to Get in the Ring? Well, he did something that was pretty ballsy. Guccione called up Guns N' Roses label Geffen Records and told them that he'd be happy to fight Axl Rose, and he even promoted the potential fight in order to help sell magazines. But of course, it never came to fruition, and Axl backed down, perhaps after he found out that Guccione Jr. had 9 years of fight training. It was a great moment of douchebaggery, as the Houston Press noted several years later. So that does it for this episode of Guns N' Roses True Story. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know your thoughts on the song Get in the Ring. I personally really like it as an instrumental, and something you guys may not know is that the song was originally called Why Do You Look at Me When You Hate Me? And then they ended up changing the title to Get in the Ring. And Axl said in interviews that it was Duff's idea to really call out, and Tom Zutot's idea, to call out journalists by name during the one part of the song where he does that. So I personally like the song. I know a lot of people don't think it's cringeworthy, but I enjoy it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and also be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed that video, and also be sure to subscribe if you love Guns N' Roses as much as I do. Thanks for watching, guys, and make sure you visit GNRCentral.com for the latest and greatest GNR news. Take care.